Good day, and I hope everyone is safe and well. Maraming salamat po sa ating National Association of Public Secondary Schools of the Philippines, or Napssphil, for inviting me in your 8th National Principals Congress there in Boracay. If my schedule will only permit, ay nandiyan po din po ako sana sa inyo. So I do apologize for this, that virtually I am participating. And I really hope that everyone is safe, protected, and also having some balance of work and recreation there in the province of Aklan. Although virtual, I am always glad to be sharing financial updates, especially to all of our school heads, because communicating and exchanging ideas will always make our work better and more efficient. So thank you for Napssphil for thinking about having financial updates for my office. Again, I am Undersecretary Sevilla, your Undersecretary for Finance, and currently nandito po kami ngayon sa ating central office. First, before we go to the presentation proper, I would like to also acknowledge, I know that you have invited as well our Undersecretary Teresito Umali, our Bureau Directors here from the central office, Director John Arnold Siena, Director Joyce Andaya, this is our Regional Director Ramiro Oitico in charge of our Region 6, Undersecretary Diosdado Antonio, San Antonio, or Usec DADS, Miss Carol Labraque, and especially lahat po ng ating participants today. Kayo po, ating mga school heads, school principals, magandang araw po sa inyo. Our assistant secondary school principals as well, kasama rin po natin ngayon, mga head teachers, and of course senior high school coordinators or officers in charge of our schools. Ay welcome po at magandang araw sa inyong lahat. So let me start with our updates already. No? This is financial updates, and ay magbibigay po kami sa inyo ng mga importante at applicable na mga policy announcements and issuances. And we have been doing this since March of 2022. This year, I have been attending consultation sessions with different regions, and I give updates. And actually, I like it very much because I don't only give updates, I also would like to listen to your voices, listen to your suggestions, recommendations, as well as feedback from what is actually happening from the central office policy issuance, ano po ang nangyayari on the ground. And actually, ito pong association ninyo, ang pinakamaganda na feedback mechanism na po pwede natin magamit. So today will be a different group, a special group, which I can really call na talagang kayo po yung nag-i-implement, especially for finance policies. And I would like to start with the following agenda items or topics that I would share with you. First is the Provident Fund issuances, and then we have the support funds for the progressive expansion face-to-face. Ito po yung mga additional MOE. And lastly, the directly released MOE at yung definition ng increased threshold ng MOE. Ibig sabihin, hanggang saan aabot ang MOE mo. Ibig sabihin, ano po ang limit ng MOE? Ang alam po natin, 15,000 MOE. Pag 15,000 and 1 pesos, capital outlay na. Di ba? So let's start with these updates. First on the Provident Fund. On the Provident Fund, we have issued Department Order Number 3, 2022. This is an amendment to your 2027 pa po at 2018 na mga issuances. Para po matulungan to help alleviate the financial needs of our DepEd personnel in cases of emergency or extreme cases, lalo na po yung affected by typhoon, calamities, at yung pong inyong mga bahay ay nangangailangan or it necessitate immediate repair with reasonable terms and competitive interest rates, ay available na po sa ating Provident Fund, our very own Provident Fund, na magkaroon ng multi-purpose loan amounting to 100,000, maintain po natin yan. At yung additional loan, these are for the extreme cases, from 100,000, we have increased it to 200,000. Therefore, an employee can have a maximum loanable amount of 300,000. That is the combined multi-purpose loan of 100,000 and additional loan for extreme cases of 200,000. Ito po ay galing sa ating Provident Fund. At ito rin po ay batay o naaayon sa natitira ninyong net take home pay. Kailangan, ayon sa batas, ayon sa ating budget law, pag kinumpute natin ang sweldo ninyo, minus doon sa inyong mga pinaparimit nyo po ng mga payments at mga contribution or even remittances, kailangan hindi po bababa sa 5,000 a month ang inyong net take home pay para ma-avail ninyo yung ating automatic payroll deduction system at makapag-apply. So please check your net take home pay kasi yan din po yung magdedetermine kung allowable kayo na ma-approve ang inyong loan application from our Provident Fund. So, the same department order, yung una pong sinabi ko is the increase in the loanable amount. The second amendment is that we have used a flat rate, the contractual interest rate, for both types of the Provident Fund. Yun pong multi-purpose loan at yung extreme or emergency loan. Kailangan flat rate lang po yan ng 6% per annum. At hinabaan po natin ang pagbabayad from 1 to 3 years, ngayon po ay 1 to 5 years na siya. So 6% flat per annum and payable until 5 years. There should be no charges from the previous department order, but for clarity information of all the concerned, the interest rate of the Provident Fund is still 6% per annum. And this is based on diminishing, declining balance. At ito po ang pinakamababa po na interest rate. Compare niyo po with other private lending institution na nag-a-avail ng ating automatic payroll deduction program. Okay? Dalawa na. Una, yung increase in the loanable amount. Second is yung interest rate and the longer period to pay, which is 5 years. And next is the signing authority or the approving authorities. The same department order, we have agreed to delegate the signing authority dati po sa Provident Fund National Board of Trustees. Ngayon po ay allowed na ang ating DepEd Regional at School Division Superintendents na meron pong Provident Fund chapters na mag-approve. This is to streamline our approval process, especially doon po sa mga division levels chapter. The approving authority, we shifted it now to the school division superintendents instead of the regional director, primarily due to the distance and the time na mabiyahe o lalakad pa po yung mga application papers natin. Okay? Please note that there's also an amendment to EO number 3, 2022. Ito po yung revised signing authorities on Provident Fund loans which we issued only on March 8, 2022. So, yan, again, are our good news and our updates about our Provident Fund. I also would like to add that this Provident Fund is sourced from the collection of all our service fees. Ibig sabihin, kapag po may mga PLI and other companies na nag-a-avail ng automatic deduction sa mga salary natin, nagbabayad po sila ng service fee sa atin. At iniipon po natin lahat itong service fee na ito at ito yung nagiging Provident Fund. So therefore, wala pong contribution ng mga empleyado dito. Lahat po ito ay katahas ng ating APDS or Automatic Payroll Deduction System. But we are also suggesting for the establishment of another Provident Fund na meron po tayong employee-employer share. Ibig sabihin, for example, kung gusto niyo na instead na naghihiram, naglo-loan, ay kayo naman ay nag-i-invest. Kung automatic na 100 pesos per month, yan ay 1,200 per year. In 10 years, may 12,000. Kung 100 lang yun. Pero kung halimbawa, 1,000 per month, that's 12,000 a year. In 10 years, that's 120,000. Yan po ang investment ninyo. At yan pong investment na yan can earn dividends. We can also set up our own medical and health insurance benefits kasi this will be sourced from another fund which we call the Provident Fund. Ito po ay pinopropose natin. Kasi ang existing po natin na Provident Fund ngayon ay service fee lamang at wala pa po yung merong may contribution. And ito po ay magiging voluntaryo. Kung sino lang ang gustong sasali, syempre yun din po ang merong magkakaroon ng mga benefits and dividends. And that is what we have proposed to our secretary, which is also will be submitted to our president. Now we go to the next update. This is the support funds for progressive expansion on the face-to-face classes, which we downloaded last March 4, 2022. Kung matatandaan ninyo, tayo po ay nag-pilot face-to-face sometime in November 2021. November to December, nag-pilot po tayo about, I think we started with 100 schools. And then later on, ay dumami na po sila based on the approval of their SSAT or the School Safety Assessment Test. And in March 4, we have downloaded another support or another additional, or this is an additional MOE, doon po naman sasali sa progressive expansion of our face-to-face classes. Tapos na po yung pilot ng November-December. Pagdating ng January, pumunta na po tayo sa progressive expansion of our face-to-face classes. At ang tanong is, of course, there are new things that we ask you to prepare for, especially in the classroom. And of course, kailangan din po natin i-capacitate ang mga teachers, ang guro, community, even the barangay partners po natin, ang mga barangay workers, officials, kasama po natin. So in March 4, 2022, we have downloaded a total of 936 million nationwide para sa lahat. At ito po ay dinivide natin to different regional offices. And these regional offices also downloaded this amount to the school division offices. And after the school division offices, sila po yung nag-identify ng mga eskwelahan kung sino ang makaka-avail nitong additional MOE. And I think this was given as an incentive for those schools who prepared for our progressive expansion of the face-to-face classes. Now, tinanong po tayo sa media, no? Kasi almost 1 billion. Ang sabi ko, actually, konti lamang yan para sa elementary schools. May total tayong 35,100 elementary schools nationwide. Sa junior high school, meron tayong 3,293 junior high schools and 6,591 senior high schools, or a total of more or less 45,000 schools na kung lahat ay bibigyan ng equal share out of the 977 million funds na available, or 936 million actually ang na-download at yung pong natira ay buffer funds sa central office, ay talagang average po nito ay about 25,000 pesos per school. At ang ginawa po natin ay talagang naging flexible tayo. You can see in the next slide that my recommendation to the Secretary is that although this is subject to all existing policies of financial and procurement management, accounting, and auditing pa kasama, that ito pong MOE nito will be according to the needs, actual needs of our regions, divisions, and schools. So, hindi po kami naglagay dito ng mga conditions or criteria na, for example, ito ay pambili lamang ng face mask, alcohol, etc. Wala pong ganun. Ito is really to prepare the schools for the safe back to face-to-face classes. Yan lang po yung inilagay natin dyan. But of course, hindi po ito dapat gamitin. For example, beyond 15,000 kasi capital outlay na yun. Or hindi siya pwede ng hiring of contractual or casual employees kasi hindi po pwede na salaries po ang i-charge natin dito. Ulitin natin, hindi po ito pang repair na pang capital outlay na. At kung ano lang po yung approve or ginagamit na natin na guidelines para sa school MOE, ay pareho rin din po nito. So in the next slide, you will see, and I hope you will find this very useful. We will give you a copy of our presentation because this slide has the list of the current and existing guidelines, policies on your authorized use or utilization of the school MOE. At makikita niyo po dyan, 6 na nakalistang mga department order, memorandum, at joint memorandum circular of DOH and DepEd. Kasi pwede pong gamitin ng ating school MOE and other additional MOE na dina-download sa inyo for the purposes of our response to COVID-19, for the expansion of our limited face-to-face, and for the regular use or regular expenses na kailangan po to operate our schools. So, pag kinlik niyo po yung blue link na yan, lalabas po mismo yung mga official DepEd issuances natin. And I hope you find this useful dahil marami po nagtatanong at sumusulat pa sa opisina. Sayang po yung time na umaandar ang papel. Sana po mabasa natin ito because we have provided already a lot of flexibility. And of course, with flexibility and responsibility, do kasama po dyan ang accountability. And we hope that that mechanism, you will really feel yung pong ginawa natin na reform during this administration, during the administration of Secretary Lilin Briones. We have provided the decentralization of our financial management. Hindi po natin pinayagan or ginawa na ang mga pondo ay nag-i-stay lang sa central office. We really decentralized this down to the regional level, division office level, and even to our implementing schools na kasama ang mga secondary schools. Again, this is the list of our utilization, authorized utilization or use of our school MOE or even the other additional or downloaded funds released at the level of the schools. Now, in the next slide, we have here, on top of your additional MOE na ating po nila download, ay pinapaalala natin na meron na rin po talagang regular MOE na nasa atin. At ito po ay naka-breakdown into regional offices. So, each one of you attending this conference or this seminar right now, makikita nyo na saan ba kayo, anong region, kasi ang total po ng ating school MOE, buong Pilipinas, buong Department of Education is 30 billion pesos. But may I remind you that this is not school year. This is fiscal year. Ibig sabihin, from January to December 2022, ito po ang available na school MOE natin. At ang tinatawag po namin itong directly released. Hindi na po mag-iintay ng release from central office, from the region or division. Kung kayo ay implementing school, diretso na po itong nasa inyo. Kung kayo naman ay elementary school, this is about 15.5 billion, ito ay nakalagak or naka-lodge sa ating division offices. Of course, subject to your liquidation and reporting of the use of your MOE as cash advance. At marami po sa mga school heads natin, school principals natin, I hope, ay natulungan ng ating pag-create ng sariling savings or checking or current account na nakapangalan sa eskwelahan. Hindi na nakapangalan sa inyo, sa school head. Kasi this has to be, this is public funds, so therefore, kailangan din po na mayroong proper liquidation, proper accounting, proper reporting of the funds we use. So again, 15.5 billion, more or less, total elementary school MOE na sa mga school division offices na. And I hope we will also improve and enhance yung po pagbibigay natin ng school MOE sa ating mga elementary schools dahil sila po talaga ang mas marami. Kanina sa inventaryo, nilagay natin 35,100 elementary school po yan. At ang total niyan ay 15.5 billion. For junior high school, meron pong 10.6 billion. At sa senior high school, may 3.9 billion. Dito sa junior high school, pwede po dyan mga secondary schools ay diretso sa eskwelahan na kukuha na nila. Ngayon, alam ko po na isa sa mga concerns ninyo ay yung finance staff na wala pa po sa elementary school. Kaya nga po nagiging implementing unit kasi meron na silang bookkeeper, may accountant, kaya mga junior high school or secondary schools lang ang nagiging implementing unit. We have requested the Department of Budget and Management for additional administrative positions para po pagka-financial ay talaga may nakatutok, may responsable at may accountable even at the elementary school level. At alam din po natin na dapat ang mga teachers ay nakatutok sa pagtuturo, huwag tayong magbigay ng mga administrative or ancillary work. At alam ko mahirap po yung balansehin lalo na kung kulang sa staff, pero ito rin po yung pinopropose natin sa DBM na hindi lamang teaching position ang ibigay sa atin every year, but also support staff. Kaya meron din po tayong mga positions na kini-create at pini-fill upon every year na makakasagot sa ating financial at administrative needs ng mga staffing positions. Okay, so I'm on my last update, but last but not the least, because this is also a good news for everyone. Last March 2022, ay nag-courtesy meeting tayo with our COA chairman. Kasi under the GAA or the Budget Law 2022, ay tayo po yung propose sa DepEd na I think it's about time na i-increase po natin ang ating level ng MOE, 15,000. Pagka naging 15,001, capital outlay na. At malamang, palagi po, walang capital outlay na nabibigay sa school level natin. Kaya nga, may mga problema tayo on how to buy durable, quality, long-lasting printers, gadgets, and all other furniture or facility that we need. Pero, mas mataas sa 15,000. Hindi natin kayang bilhin yun. Kasi may accounting rules na ang MOE ay hanggang 15,000 lamang. Pero ngayon pong 2022, na-aprobahan na po sa budget law natin na itong 15,000 ay magiging 50,000 na. 50. At ang ibig sabihin yan, pag 50,000 ang threshold ng MOE natin, ay mas marami tayong pwedeng mabili na mga gamit natin sa eskwelahan, lalo na sa mga elementary school na walang capital outlay, puro MOE lang, ay po pwede na po tayo makabili ng mas durable na printer na ginagamit natin, and all other furniture and facilities and other school supplies na alam naman natin na kinakailangan natin, especially in our blended learning approach. Kaya lang, nung na-approve po ang ating budget mo, noong 2022, ay nagkaroon po ng message ang ating presidente, in a veto message, sinabi niya na although hindi sila disagree, they also approve the increase of the threshold from 15,000 to 50,000, ay kailangan na magkaroon ng issuance ang COA on the appropriate accounting and auditing of this increased threshold. Ang ibig sabihin ng po nito, approve but wait. Mag-intay muna kayo ng instruction from the Commission on Audit kung kailan at paano ma-change yung threshold na 15,000 to 50,000. And that is the reason why we said that immediately after the approval of the budget, we went to COA, discussed it with them, and COA said hindi naman po sila nag-disagree kasi by the way, yung 1980s pa raw po itong 15,000 na threshold na to. 1980s, ano na po kayo, 2020? How old na po iyang threshold na yan? So, they also agree that it should be increased. But in January, the COA chairman is due for the end of his term, Chairman Aguinaldo, and they waited for the new COA chairman, and we have COA Chairman Hustol, who came in March. 2 beses po tayong nakipag-meeting sa COA. One in January, and they said, wait for the new COA chairman. And we went back on March, kasi meron na po bagong COA chair. At noong March, si Secretary Liling Briones, kasama po ako si Usec ay nagpunta sa COA para itanong ang status ng issuance of the COA policy on the increase. And they said, mismo si COA chair ang nagsabi, yes, it is timely, and yes, they approve, and they will prepare for the issuance of the COA policy on this. That was March. And matatapos na po ang May. Ang update po na meron kami ay malapit na po aprubahan ito. Okay? Ang kailangan po natin gawin, intayin yung official release, official announcement, official issuance, at sasabihan po yung mga accountants natin na meron po yung timeline. Kailan mag-kick in, kailan mag-i-start ang implementation na ang MOE ay 50,000 threshold na. So, huwag po kayo mag-alala kasi yung usapan namin ay sana po huwag abutin ng July, ano? So, sana ang threshold is exactly 6 months before the end of the year. So that at least half of the year, na-enjoy natin yung increase ng threshold. And by the way, nung ginawa po namin yung proposal for 2023, nag-submit po kami ng 20% increase in school MOE proposal. Para sa 2023 ay may 20% increase tayo, pero yan po ay subject to the approval of DBM, syempre sa Congress din. Pero I'm just informing you that the proposal that DepEd Central Office submitted to DBM is a 20% increase in school MOE for everyone. At meron na tayong understanding that MOE for 2023 will definitely be at the threshold of 50,000 pesos. 50. So ulitin ko po, although meron na pong budget law na nag-a-approve na na-increase na ang threshold ng ating MOE from 15,000 to 50,000, ay iintayin natin ang issuance ng POA para po sabay-sabay at lahat ng mga accountants ay magsasara ng libro at mag-o-open ng bagong libro kung saan 50,000 na ang threshold ng MOE. Hintayin lang po natin at ang sabi ng POA ay palabas na yan. But in 2023, I'm sure 50,000 na po yung gagamitin natin kasi yan na po yung nakapasok sa proposal natin. So with that, I hope that our school heads will be planning very carefully, judiciously, and proactively for their remaining MOE. At syempre, hindi naman po ibig sabihin na dahil in-increase ay bibili na natin yung mga mas mahal. Ito po ay subject ulit sa procurement rules and regulation at alam din naman po natin kung anong mga items yung talaga naman pumapasok doon po beyond 15,000 but not more than 50,000 pesos. I repeat that we need to wait for the issuance of the COA before this increase in threshold of MOE can be implemented and applicable. So with that, I will repeat my congratulations. I will repeat my affirmation of how we in the central office would like to improve, enhance all our policies. Please allow me also to give our appreciation and thanks to everyone. Lahat po ng mga polisiya na ginagawa natin sa central office will stay as policy if not properly interpreted, implemented, or applied by you, our school heads, assistant school heads, teachers, na kasama po natin ngayon. Sana po tulong-tulong tayo, sama-sama pa rin po tayo, kasi meron po tayong sinusulong na reforma na tinatawag natin sulong edukalidad. Hindi lamang po kasi dapat access ang ating sinusolve or binibigyan ng tugon, kung hindi ang kalidad ng edukasyon. At lahat po ito ay, kaya po ako from finance ay talagang taos-puso na nagpapasalamat sa inyong imbitasyon. Ay gusto ko na rin pong i-grab or i-take this opportunity na pasalamatan po kayo lahat. Dahil ang Department of Education ang pinakamataas ang nakuhang trust rating, tiwala ng mga tao sa serbisyong ating pong binibigay. So congratulations to everyone, to you teachers, assistant school heads, dahil kayo po ang nakikita ng taong bayan. Kami po dito ay nandito lamang at gumagawa ng mga polisiya, pero kayo po ang gumagawa ng sapat, tama at tapat na serbisyo pang-edukasyon para sa ating kabataang Pilipino. So on behalf of our Secretary, Leonor Diling Magdonis-Briones, the whole Executive Committee members of the Department of Education in the Central Office, and on behalf of the whole finance family, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat, and I wish you all more success in your seminar, not only here, but most especially when you apply it, when you are back to your own schools. Iparamdam niyo po sa lahat na sa DepEd, sama-sama tayo nagtatrabaho at sama-sama rin po tayong susulong sa ating edukalidad. God bless Philippines, God bless us all, God bless the Department of Education.